Thanks for joining us on The Express. And it's that time of year again, that time where we remember those veterans who have served in wars and those who are still serving in wars that are going on today. We're here at the Canadian Military Education Centre in Chilliwack, and I'm here with Rolly Keith. Rolly, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Now, what is the Canadian Military Education Centre?
The Canadian Military Educational Centre is a museum and a centre that we have established here in Chilliwack in Vedder Crossing about 3.5 years ago now. And this is put together by a group of enthusiastic collectors and exhibitors of military vehicles, uniforms, weapons, and accoutrements that they have collected, and as a hobby, really. And about 5 years ago, they decided that they needed to make this accessible to Canadians in general, and especially around this time of year, around Remembrance Day and Remembrance Week. And we are open to the general public on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 to 4 around the year.
That's nice and convenient when people have time off. Now, how did it get established? Why Chilliwack?
Well, Chilliwack, as you probably know, was a former military base, and it was established during the Second World War in 1942. And it's had a very significant presence here in the community and the Fraser Valley up until the base closed in 1995. And so we thought this was the ideal place if we had a suitable facility to exhibit our displays.
Now, why is it important to have something like this in Chilliwack? Like you mentioned, it isn't government funded, it's just enthusiasts. Why did they feel it was important to have this here now? I
think it's imperative that we have facilities like this to put a presence and to so Canadians can learn about some of the vehicles, the uniforms, the artifacts, and some of the history that is so important to the kind of country that we have now. This is a fairly comprehensive collection of military vehicles from World War II up to the present time.
I was going to say, are all world wars represented?
Basically, the vehicles that have been used over the last 70 years, we have a good representation here.
What do we have here, Rolly?
Well, this is our Sherman tank. This is the latest version of the tank that Canada used in the Second World War. Now, this tank, it weighs a little over 35 tons, and it's got a 76 millimeter gun, and it can travel at about 40 miles an hour on a fairly level terrain.
This tank stays here now in Chilliwack?
This tank is a tank that we saved here in Chilliwack about 35 years ago. And the tank's name, just by coincidence, is Caroline, which is my eldest daughter. And it's had that name ever since it went on display here some 35 years ago.
Yeah, and you mentioned you're open weekends. Is that all year round?
Yes, that's correct. That's all year round.
And for more information, do you guys have a website?
We do. And if people go on the website, they can just look at CMEC, our Canadian Military Educational Centre, and we'll come up.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Rolly.
It's my pleasure.
Thanks. Stick around. Lots more to come on The Express.